So this is looking at number 24 from chapter 12. So the question is here, it says the magnitude of an earthquake, RE, that releases E energy in kilowatt hours can be described using the logarithmic model. To create a model, geologist measures the magnitude and energy released by several earthquakes and recorded the data in the table below. It's right here. It says use that data to write the logarithmic model. So if I'm going to write any kind of model using my calculator, I'm going to start by entering this data into my calculator. So I'll press the Stat button, and then from the Edit tab, I'm going to select the Edit option, and I'm going to type the data in my calculator into lists. So I'm going to type E into L1 and R of E into L2. So 68 and then 1.5. Now to do times 10 to the third, I'm going to use the EE command. So I'll press second and the comma and then 3. So notice the E is the shortcut on your calculator for times 10 to the third. You could type that all out by hand also, but that's just a little bit quicker. And you see on the screen the calculator just converted that into a decimal for me already. So I'm just continuing to type in this data. And there you notice that the decimal was too big to fit on the screen, so the calculator used the E notation there. It doesn't matter how the calculator is displaying that, though. That's all fine. So now I'm going to type in the R of E's into L2. So this is just like what we've done before when we wrote linear models or power models or whatever else. So there's that. All the data is typed in. So I'm going to exit out to the main screen. And to get the calculator to write the model, we're going to press the Stat button again. But this time we're going to go over to the Calc tab. And we'll scroll down till we find the logarithmic regression, which is... Oops. What am I looking for? So I'm going to do the ln reg is what I think I want to use. So ln is short for natural log. Again, you should remember that from your previous course. So my x's are in L1, my y's are in L2. Frequency list we never use. I am going to store this because it does ask me a question later on. So rather than having to copy down the formula and plug the number in, I'm just going to have the calculator store the formula to plug the number in. So I'm going to store this into Y1. To get the Y1 there, I'm going to press the vars button. Vars is short for variables, and I'm looking for the Y1, so I'm going to go over to the Y variables tab. And then we're in function mode, so I'm going to select function, and there's my Y1. It doesn't matter if something was already written there, it'll just write it over top of it in place. And hit calculate. So there's my logistic function. So I would write down like 1.17 plus 0.29 times the natural log of x. Okay. So that's part A. And then in part B, I'm going to do Y1 of that number. So I'm going to go ahead and retrieve Y1, doing the same thing I did before. And I'm just going to plug in that number. So this is the same thing as putting this number in for the x in the equation that we just described. So if you did that, that'd be a 10.7 magnitude earthquake. And that's it.